Hello and welcome to punneitAstrology. This is the fourth edition of my episode on the Saturn transit for all ascendants. I have completed till Gemini. This video is for Cancer zodiac sign. Cancer is the fourth zodiac sign of the natural belt of the zodiac in the sky, and this sign is ruled by planet Moon. Now, Saturn is going to transit in your 6th house. 6th house is the house ruled by Saggitarius, and the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. Saturn in your horoscope rules the 7th house and the 8th house. These two most important houses are ruled by Saturn, and the Saturn is now in your 6th house. So let us understand what is this transit has in store for you. Before understanding that, first of all we have to understand what 6th house is. 6th house is basically house of disease, court cases, litigations, anything that you see false and wrong about the society, any disputes, and anything that is in front of you, on your face, anything bad, that is 6th house. 6th house is also the house of medicine, because it is the house of disease, and the diseases are cured by medicine. So 6th house is also the houses from which doctors are seen, lawyers are seen, because 6th house is also areas of dispute, legal disputes. It is also loss of marriage, and it is also any kind of loss of inheritance because of repetitive court cases, repetitive legal issues. Next comes Saturn. Saturn is a planet which delays everything. Saturn is a special planet, and wherever it sits, it wants you to work harder to achieve elements of that house. So eventually the placement of Saturn in 6th house is very good, because it will delay all the court cases, it will delay any sort of legal issues, it will delay in the disputes of marriage and any disputes that you can see. So this 6th house is actually going to give you great results. So let us analyze further by analyzing the position and aspect of Saturn in different houses. First of all, we will consider the position of Saturn with respect to the sign Capricorn. Capricorn rules your 7th house. What is 7th house? 7th house is marriage. 7th house is the people we meet. 7th house is anything which is in front of our eyes. Whoever we meet, we talk, anything or anyone who is foreign in nature is called 7th house. 7th house is also legal partnership, legal bonding, and any sort of lawful activity. Now, when that house lord sits in 6th house, first of all you have to understand that it is 12th from itself. It is in the sign of Dharma, the natural 9th house Sagittarius. So now it's a combination of Saturn, natural 9th house, original 6th house, and the rulership of the 7th house. This shows that you will work really hard towards your marriage. Since you are already seeing few disputes in your marriage, few gap, maybe a communication gap or understanding gap in a marriage, you are now trying to work really hard on spending time on that marriage. The only issue or the problem that you are going to face is that 6th house is also a house of repetitive job. It is the house of competition. So it will make you work towards that, because Saturn is a karmic planet. Saturn sits in 6th house and says, go and do the job. You will gain repetitive job. That means you will be placed in a job which will be kind of monotonous for you. Not good for creative guys, not good for guys who are who wants to switch continuously to different spheres, or who are doing things like arts and music and crafts, any sort of creativity. You have to utilize this time, because this is the time when it will give you firmness in one single thing. It will divert your attention and your karma, because Saturn is the planet of karma. It will push your karmic energy in the 6th house solving disputes, doing repetitive job, being competitive, fighting your enemies. Although it is delaying the process of encountering the negativity with you, but eventually it wants to get yourself prepared, so you get prepared for any upcoming negativity in front of you. So I would say this is a kind of a great position with only one aspect here, that since your ascendant is ruled by moon, this Saturn wants you to be active on the path of spirituality and not become emotional. You have a tendency to become very much emotional. You are originally very emotional, liquefied kind of a personality. You easily tend to sway away from the path. Now you won't. Now Saturn is very firm. Saturn will say, come on, visit a religious place, read some religious book, meet a religious person, and he or she will guide you to sit in a single chair and work for 2 years. Don't move here and there. Don't go here and there. For spiritual upliftment, wonderful sign. You will be now able to sit and meditate, which for long you were not able to do. Now you can actually sit and concentrate. Perfect for lawyers, perfect for doctors, perfect for engineers, perfect for merchants of iron and steel and metals, because Saturn rules all these fields. Now 8th house. 8th house is sudden transformations. Since you have the natural 11th house and the 8th house, you always seek sudden transformations through continuous gains. Reverse is also true. Continuous gains comes time to time and transform your life and help you in the time of need and necessity. This is the time when those gains will be quite delayed, because Saturn's third aspect is on the 8th house. Although it says it's the own house, but it will be a bit delayed, because now Saturn wants to say, work or I will delay every possible gains of your life. Why? Because Saturn is having third aspect to the 8th house. But there is a catch here. 8th house lord is 11th from itself. How can a lord which is 11th from its own house provide delay of that house? This is because when Saturn rules a house and it goes 11th from itself, and if that house is Aquarius, then Saturn falls in Sagittarius. In that case, Saturn says, work or I will not give you anything. Work in the path of spirituality. So what you should do if you face trouble and difficulties in your job, trouble and difficulties in understanding the situation in office, trouble and difficulties because of some monotonous job and you're not able to switch. Point number 1. Help anyone who is lower in financial position from you by any means, by any sort, because Saturn is subordinates. Saturn is someone who is malnutritioned, who is not privileged as you are. Help those people, help such personality in the society, help them uplift their life, and you will have your life uplifted, because you are actually performing the job which Saturn has given you. Then the third aspect will eventually creep up that unimaginable amount of transformative gain in your life which you have never thought of. Yes, in this 2 years, every person according to his own horoscope, more or less, but yes, one big gain is due for all Cancer Zodiac ascendants. Rest assured, in some form this gain will come in your life, depending upon your Mahadasha and Antardasha, depending upon your own horoscope. For some, they may get now, For some it can be delayed by a few months, but eventually it will come. This also shows that you will start acting towards your health. You will go to gym, you will now understand the importance of health. So you will work towards yoga, you will do alternative healing, you will go towards naturopathy. That's good. Try that. If you are now in a long chronic disease, especially if it's a back pain or a bone disease like arthritis, spondylitis, lack of vitamin D, etc., etc., anything which is related to bone, or some disease which was very much chronic, try to heal that apart from the conventional medicine, with your doctor's advice obviously. Try to heal that through the process of meditation, mudra, mantra, pranayam and yogasana. These 5 elements. What I see from this position of Saturn is a lot of contact through foreign agents. What do you mean by foreign agents? By foreign agent I mean you will have a lot of contacts in a land where language is unknown. You may land up in a job which is far away from your birthplace, where nobody understands your language. At least it's quite difficult. For example, someone from North India goes to extreme South India, and in a place where few people understand English. So it's a bit difficult to communicate with someone. It also means someone from this country goes to another country, and he is surrounded by people who speaks a different language. That's why it's called foreign land. Why? Because Saturn 6th house aspects 12th house, foreign things. This also means a lot of you will change your line or role in job. You will land up in a role which is foreign to you, which is unknown to you. For example, an IT guy will create his own album. Someone who is a lawyer will become an astrologer. You will completely shift your path. This is a path-breaking placement for all Cancer zodiac. Utilize this position. You have a feeling to do something, but remember, you have to work really hard, but you will get this. That's why it's important. If you really work hard, even if it is delayed, it will not be compromised. You will get more than what you have worked. But Saturn will take a test. Saturn will never give you before taking a test. Be ready to give that test. And that test will be to work hard and hard without result. If you keep on working, one day you will open a box and that box will be full of results like diamonds. And it will be like, it's worth the effort, it's worth the wait. Do that. Do not feel sad because there is a continuous fight in your job. There is a continuous court battle which is continuously increasing unnecessarily. If your business is not giving you something which you have been long hoped for, don't give up that hope. This is the time to act. Saturn wants you to go that extra mile. If you go that extra mile, you are eventually going to land up in heaven. Only problem I see, emotional communication. Saturn will watch 3rd house. 3rd house is Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, not a good friend of your 11. So your communication is your enemy. That you will understand now. So your communication should be very data-based, on to the point, and on facts. That is what Saturn will teach you. If you're right now communicating in an emotional manner in your job, in fact anywhere you go, if you are talking in an emotional manner or you are a very emotional person, be ready to lose some of that emotion. Saturn will teach you practicality. The sooner you understand practicality of life, the sooner your speech and communication becomes practical and fact-based, not imagination-based, but fact-based, the sooner you will get that result which Saturn wants to give. Because Saturn is like a judge. He's waiting on his throne and watching you doing the karma, and he's watching that you are performing a task. Okay, you perform a task in a way you are supposed to perform. That's what Saturn wants to teach you. And once you do that, just like an examination, Saturn will take a test. So once you pass that test with the flying colors, you are eventually landing up in a zone where you have now the maturity, the understanding of the principles of how things work, and now you know how to handle things which others cannot. So now you have struck the right balance between the emotional and the practical, and you can implement both. And that is why you have a great team. This is also a sign that you will lead a great team full of people, and you may have to rule them. You may have to fight your supervisors for that, because Saturn is in 6th house. 6th house Saturn gives some quarrels because of my subordinates, because of my team. Either it may increase your team or it may take your team away and keep you isolated. So it may happen, for example, a person who is in India working and has a great team suddenly goes out in a foreign land, probably move out to a US or UK and starts working there, and his entire team is in India. He's alone there. Although he has a great team, but he's alone. So it's an example that responsibility towards you will be increased. You will be given, burdened with a lot of responsibilities of life, responsibilities at work, because only with responsibility you can actually perform the duties what Saturn wants you to do. Great time ahead. I won't say it's a bad time, because 6th house is also known as Upachaya house, and it's a malefic house, a malefic planet in a malefic house. Watching two malefic houses is actually one of the greatest thing for materialistic world. Also, it is the thing sense that you will be taking great care of yourself. Your health will improve, longevity will improve, chronic diseases will come out and it will go away, fears will go away. If you are hospitalized for long, you will come out of the hospital. You will work really hard so that you don't reach to a doctor. Try spiritual healing, try meditation, try mudra, and try some alternate therapy of tapping the spiritual zone of the universe, tapping the spiritual energy. And also you can practice the Nad Brahma Pranayam, which is like this. This pranayam will really help calm your mind, and since this is the pranayam called Nad Brahma, which is the sound of the universe, Saturn rules your middle finger, and middle finger means Akash Tattva. So Nad Brahma is actually sound of Saturn itself. So this Saturn will slowly transform you into a person of wit, a person of will, a person who is determined enough to collide with any situation, no matter what. He will make you a person who will challenge life and say, come on, hit me, and I am ready to face you. So guys, that was my analysis for Saturn transit to Sagittarius for the year 2017 for the Cancer ascendant. Please subscribe my channel below by clicking the subscription button so that you get automatic notifications of the videos that I upload. 4 videos, 4 episodes I have uploaded, and 8 more to go, starting Leo till Sagittarius.